It appears Damian Lillard taking the podium now. Let's listen in.
I had a former Trailblazer text me right after the news broke. He said, everything's right in the NBA again. And I just smiled and nodded, and it was like, yeah, I mean, it is. It never felt right seeing Damian in a different jersey. And, you know, we're really excited, of course, to bring him back to Portland and put him in that red and black. So, you know, we'll get into a few opening statements and answer any questions you have, but just really thankful to Dame for trusting in us, for believing in us, and for coming back. So send it over to Chauncey.
Yeah, same thing for me, really. This is a happy day for all of us. Really, really excited to have Dame back. You know, it's been a process. I think if we're all being honest, we obviously never wanted to see him go. And even when he did, we all wanted to see him back. So it worked out perfect. I always just believe that things happen how they're supposed to. And unfortunately, he's hurt right now, and he'll be back as good as ever, you know, if you know anything about him. So we're really excited about that. I told him that this year he's going to be the highest paid assistant coach in league history because I'm going to be putting him to work every day. So we're really excited. We're really happy to have our guy back. Go ahead, Tyler.
For me, personally, well, first I want to thank Joe, and I want to thank Chauncey because, you know, obviously for this to even be possible, we all had to be on the same page about it. But like they both said, it never felt right not being home, and you know, through it all, I found my way back, and just fortunate to be back with the group that I was with prior to leaving, to be a part of a great situation at home. And I'm just excited, you know, and really, really thankful and appreciative of the door being open for me to come back, even with me being hurt. And, you know, it means a lot to me to not only play for this organization again, I never wanted to not be playing for this organization, but to be back in this community, you know, that I'm most familiar with, the familiar faces, all of the things that I've been connected to, even during the time that I wasn't playing here the last 2 years. So it all just feels right. You know, usually when I have to make a decision, I put a lot of thought into it. I ask a lot of questions to the people around me, but this was a decision that wasn't hard at all for me to make. And, you know, the people that I know love me and care about me, it was a easy piece of advice for them to give. It was easy for them to, you know, to support. So, like I said, I'm just thankful to be back. And it just feels like the perfect situation at the perfect time. So I'm just happy to be back.
Brenna Green, Coin 6 Sports. Damian, if I would have told you 2 years ago you would be sitting here right now doing this press conference, what would have your reaction been?
I probably would have been like, I don't know, you know. That's a little, in just 2 years, I probably wouldn't have believed it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect this to happen at some point, but for it to happen this soon, I wasn't expecting this.
For Dame and for Joe, Mike Richmond, can you talk about the process of kind of how this came together? When did you guys start talking about it? What did sort of the conversations look like and the meetings look like that led to this happening?
Once we learned Dame was leaving the Bucks, you know, it all happened pretty smooth and organically. Chauncey and I sat down with him a few times and had some really good conversations. You know, a lot of, you know, talking about goals and, you know, what the Trailblazers are trying to accomplish, what he's trying to accomplish, and seeing if those, you know, goals aligned. And I think we knew very early on that those goals were very similar, and the key thing there was just work out a deal and let's get this done, and it was really that smooth.
Lindsay Schnell, The Athletic. Dame, I'm curious, can you tell us how you told your kids that you were coming home, and what their reaction is? I'm guessing Dame Jr. is old enough to like really get it. The twins might have been a little confused.
They're all old enough to pick up on it now. especially Dame Jr., but I didn't say nothing to him about it until Saturday when I actually signed, and they were with me, and we got back in the car to go home. And I got to a red light, and I just turned around, and my daughter was looking at me, and I told her, and she was like, "Wait, so like we don't have to get on the airplane to Milwaukee no more?" I was like, "Yeah, like y'all don't gotta get on the plane no more." And she was like, "So you're gonna be at your house in Portland the whole time?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "What?" Like she was. And then her brothers was kind of listening to that back and forth, and they were all extremely excited. So I saved it for when I knew it was official.
With the Oregonian, Dame, what expectation are you setting for yourself after this year of rehab? What kind of player do you expect to be in 2026?
I mean, I think it's obviously a tough injury, but me personally, I know how I'm going to approach the whole rehab process, taking my time. A lot of trust in the people around me, a lot of trust in the surgeon that I went to. We've stayed connected. And I think I'm going to return to form. That's just my true belief. I think I'll return to form. I think with this injury, a lot of the people that I've spoke to that have experienced the injury and come back for it, a lot of the surgeons that I spoke to, a lot of the PTs that I've spoken to have shared a lot of information with me. And a lot of it was encouraging for me. And I know what my assignment is to make that happen. And that's what I've been focused on doing. So it's a pretty slow process. That's why I'm taking the next season to make sure that I check every box and that I don't rush, especially at my age. But I expect to return to form.
Rose Garden Report. This would be for, I guess, both Joe and Dame. Is there any possibility at all that Dame plays this upcoming season, or is it understanding that this is just a rehab year?
We're going to do what's best for Dame. And, never say never in this world, but all that matters is him coming back to form. And that'll take as long as it takes, and we won't go a second faster than that.
My prideful self would be thinking differently, but I think that with age you get wiser, and like Joe said, it's going to be, ultimately what's best, and I think to take as much time as possible to make sure that I'm right, that's what I'll do.
Dave Carriagers, so assuming you don't play this next season, what will your role be? What will you do as far as the team on hands and that sort of thing? And then what role do you expect to play when you do get back?
I think not playing, just wanting to still have an impact on the team and still be present with the team. I think when you've been around the league for as long as I have, and you've had as much experience as I've had on the floor every day in practice, just being in this league and having a significant role, it's a lot to share. It's a lot that you need time to learn in the NBA. A lot of things you just learn over your amount of time, and with this being a younger team, it's a lot of things that I can share, without having to be on the floor. And I think that'll be my main job this year. Like Chauncey said, I'm basically going to be like an assistant coach. So I'll be around, and my investment in the team will be the same as if I was playing, as far as like my time and where my energy is placed. And I think once I'm playing, it'll be the same. One thing that I've missed over the last 2 years playing on an older team is I'm able to be more and give more when I have something to pour into. When I'm able to be invested in others' careers more, being around younger players. So with this team, I have plenty of opportunity to do that, especially having a young, rising point guard like Scoop that I'm going to be, playing with now, and Tumani and Denny and Shaden, who I was with his rookie year. So just being around those guys and having so much to share and being able to pour into them and be a part of, their continued progress is something that elevates me as a player and as a teammate and as a leader. So, I'm looking forward to that as well, even when I'm playing.
Danny Meringue, 105.1 The Fan. in your previous tenure, you were a flag bearer not only for the team, but the city, the organization, all of it. Just kind of what are your thoughts on being that right now as the team's up for sale, and Adam Silver's comments about the preference of staying in Portland, and the pride and thoughts that you've had of being that guy and being that guy again?
The city of Portland and the Trailblazers as an organization is just important to me. It's never been something that I've had to try and go out and do, and make myself something. It's just how I feel, and I go off of, what my true feelings are. So it was always genuine for the first 11 years of my career, and it was also always organic. I never had to go out of my way to do something or make something appear to be a certain way, and I think this will be the same. I don't need to try to announce myself as that or anything. I just operate as myself, and that's always been good enough. And I think, especially at this stage of my career, I think it'll remain the same.
Casey Holdall, Trailblazers.com. Dame and Chauncey. Dame, could you speak? You did this now, but could you speak a little more about kind of your thoughts on the team as currently constructed, particularly how it's maybe different from the team that you were on your last season here? And Chauncey, I know it's probably kind of early, but have you thought at all about how you're going to use Dame once he is able to get back out there?
Should I go first?
Why don't you go first, Dame?
I think one thing that when we all sat down and this idea kind of started to move towards me signing back here, obviously I'm gonna look at the basketball situation. We play basketball, and you want to win basketball games. So a lot of people, may look at it as a family decision, and obviously anybody would have their family be a part of a decision that they make, but this was just as much a basketball decision. I've watched the team even at a distance. I've followed and stayed in touch with what was going on, and looking at how the league is transitioning and how it's changing. It's not the same old thing no more. It's young teams that guard and that have depth and that compete, that are connected, and this team has all of those things. Maybe because it's Portland, people may not be willing to say it, but it's all there. From the talent to the depth to having it on both sides of the ball, it's all there. And that's something that I believed in when I looked into a decision like this. So the personal part, the family, the basketball, the fact that this opportunity came unexpected, being waived, it just felt like like I said, it just felt like the perfect timing and the perfect opportunity.
What you asked me again, man? Oh yeah. That's a long way.
And that was Damian Lillard, as well as the Trailblazers coach there, GM to Damian Lillard's right-hand side, talking about his homecoming, his return to Rip City. GM Joe Cronin saying it never felt right seeing Damian in a different jersey, a sentiment that Lillard also agreed with. Lillard also saying it all just feels right. If you'd like to keep watching this news conference, you can pull up our free KGW Plus TV app. We'll also have a full report on his reintroduction and homecoming tonight on KGW News at 11.